Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my Red Dead Redemption 2 Sharpshooter 8 challenge guide. In this guide I'll be going a little bit more in depth about this challenge because there's been a lot of people asking me like, hey, how exactly do you do this? I'm struggling with it, yada yada yada. So what I've done is I've given two different options for you before the story and after the story. So if you're someone that hasn't beaten the story just yet, be careful in the comment section because I'm sure there's going to be discussions about after story stuff as well. So do be careful. Before I enter the after story stuff, there will be an additional spoiler warning. So obviously we're going to be starting with the option you can use before you beat the story. The location I picked for this one is 6 Point Cabin in Cumberland Forest. This is a gang hideout, and there's also a cabin that as soon as you come close to that, 3 enemies will come out. Now what you want to do is you want to use a Lancaster rifle with express ammo. This gives a little bit more damage, and from what I found it seems to be working a little bit better. This might be placebo, but it won't hurt anyway, because you know, the more damage you do to his hand, the more likely he is probably going to drop his gun. What you want to do is you want to aim on the left hand or lower arm kind of area, and then get your deadeye locked on that. If you do so, the enemy should drop his gun. It is not a guarantee, but it's definitely the best way of trying this. As soon as you run out of deadeye, you shouldn't be using deadeye once again, because as soon as you activate deadeye again, your gun will reload and the challenge will immediately be cancelled. If you end up not being able to complete it in your first try, you can keep trying this by just simply running away from the gang hideout again and returning once again once the radar has become clear of the red circle around it. Another option for you to try is by sneaking into the cabin as there's no one watching. This way you have the element of surprise with you, and it might even be a little bit easier to get those kills as well. There's always one guy in front of you as soon as you enter, so you might want to just kill him and then focus on the 3 guys who are just standing there with their revolvers and their repeaters. Now moving on to the after beating the story option, so big spoiler warning. We're now entering in the spoiler section of the video. If you haven't beaten the story, do not continue watching if you do not wish to be spoiled. With that said, if you have beaten the story, you want to head down to Fort Mercer. And you want to make sure that you have a Lancaster repeater with express ammo and obviously also a scope on there. The scope is an absolute godsend for this because there is a total of 3 guards on either side in the opening of the door. If an AI is standing still and not really doing anything, he's not really holding his gun that tightly as well, making it easier to shooting it out of his hand as well. Another reason to pick Fort Mercer is because you can get some good cover behind it and keep your distance, meaning that you won't be able to get shot as easily. There's a lot of enemies that are hanging over the ledge on the 2nd floor of the building, meaning that you will also be able to get some easy kills again. Like with the before the story, you want to make sure that you aim for the lower arm or the hands in order to shoot the gun out of the enemy's hand. Again, it's never a guarantee, and if you use deadeye right after you use deadeye, your gun will be reloaded. So I hope this video helped out those who are struggling a bit with it. The additional details might help you. If you have any additional tips, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. This is what I personally found the easiest way of kind of, explaining it and doing it. So hopefully you found it useful. If you did, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe for much more challenge guides coming to you very soon, and also Red Dead Redemption 2 content. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.